Hi, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Welcome to my Star Atlas Week in Review podcast. This is podcast number 163. Any articles or videos mentioned can be found on my website at intergalacticherald.com just for weekly recap newsletter 211. So just a quick summary of things that happened this past week in Star Atlas. The Star Atlas team had their Atlas Brew on Wednesday, at least Wednesday my time. And then on Thursday, I think there was an economy forum, but unfortunately I couldn't find a recording of it. So I don't know if it exists or doesn't exist. But anyways, unfortunately, I can't watch these things live. So from my perspective, it doesn't exist. But yeah, that's basically the two big community events that occurred. And yeah, I'll get into what they went over in at least the Atlas Brew in a second. But before I get that, just again, want to mention my Star Atlas website, intergalacticherald.com. It's a great resource website for Star Atlas with guides, directories, recaps, and a email sign up for the Discord news announcements, so you can have those directly emailed to you. Also do have a Star Atlas merch store at intergalacticgear.com. And I'd love to get together with other Star Atlas gamers who aren't going to be joining guilds, and you can check that out at intergalacticcoalition.com. So as I mentioned, there was a Atlas Brew this past week. It seems like they're falling into a more standard pattern, partly because HoloSim is the only thing that's kind of available. So, but they did mention at the beginning, Jose has been kind of running these with, I know I've said this before. Names plus gamer tags just confuse me. I'm like, people. Anywho, that Jose is looking to maybe put together an RPG game. And at first I wasn't really sure, like, is this a new game or something? But then when he kind of showed it, I think it's much more of like a text-based game, or maybe like a Dungeons and Dragons type of game where they mentioned they could be playing it at the Lore Keepers meeting and things like that. So anyways, I think that's great. Alternative engagement within the Star Atlas ecosystem all kind of makes sense. So anyway, so that was kind of interesting development. They also did show the first time I've ever seen a full gameplay video from the new C4. I was watching on my phone, so it wasn't that big. Hoping they were going to release it later, but haven't seen anything yet on that. So, but anyway, it was great to actually start seeing some information. I think my feeling is that this is not exactly HoloSim, but I think just in the sense that it's browser game. So again, it's very close to current Sage and things like that. So yeah. Definitely more refinements, more information. The map is kind of felt familiar, but I think when you zoom down, you start seeing camera regions and things like that. So definitely seems like a expansion, but also familiarity with what we've been kind of seeing in Sage for many years now. So, and then the bulk of the Atlas Brew was taken up by HoloSim changes, both current and talking about the future. So again, that was really great. And again, like I said, that was one event. And again, there supposedly was a con forum, but no recording. So I don't know, doesn't exist if it doesn't get recorded. And then later there was a tweet, and I haven't had a chance to read it because I only caught it was before going to bed. I think the quarterly economic, can't remember what it's called. Anyways, the economy quarterly report of the economy. So take a look at that and probably have something to say for that on next week podcast. So anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I was kind of thinking seemed like there was one other thing. No, I didn't write it down. So anyways, I admit kind of did this really late last night, and now I'm recording the podcast the next day. Been really busy on personal stuff and business stuff, so kind of wasn't totally engaged. In fact, I was multitasking last night. So really this kind of my thoughts on the state of Star Atlas are kind of more of just my personal thoughts or my personal feelings, my personal state. But I had kind of, word I wrote down was kind of feeling a little lackadaisical. I'm pretty sure that's a word, but I had some things come up on a personal note, so I didn't do my kind of daily evening checks of the Star Atlas Discord and Twitter and YouTube. And finally got to it late last night too. Or maybe I did early in the week. But anyways, yeah, I didn't miss anything. Again, it was kind of I don't know, just kind of whatever. But on the positive note, I do want to say that I think definitely Holocim seems like a success. In fact, I think Chris might have posted in the announcements some information about player stats. Again, I totally glossed over because I thought there would be a presentation where I could kind of dig into it deeper. So sounds like there's people playing and more people playing. So I think that's good. Again, like I've said many times, it's just not interesting to me. And again, I don't mean that as it's a terrible game. It's just not a game that I'm interested in playing. And partly, and it's not that it's a browser game. It's not that it's free to play. It's not anything. Though if I had to say what I was hoping for in general, granted is what the original promise was, which was space combat, space exploration game, spaceships, and, little dots on a browser. Just, it is sort of RTS, but again, not really there. But I think ultimately the major reason that I'm not interested in is the more frenetic, fast pace of it. And that's just not how the games work. I used to play an RTS for, 30 minutes to an hour and one map or something like that, and then you can just stop. But this never stops. It's designed to go on. So again, that's just my personal play style. I'm glad it exists. Totally on board with the idea of an on-ramp without the crypto. So again, and it does start to feel like, as can't remember specifically in the last few Atlas brews, but Holocim and C4 do feel much more like tied together. Not that, again, they're technically the same or using the same technology or any of that, but definitely they build upon each other. And so features in one might show up in the other one and vice versa. So, and ultimately the problem is if I had the time, or if I wanted to make the time, I'd want to play a game that I want to play. And I have a number of RTSs that have been sitting on my computer for 5+ years. So I don't know. They would just probably give me more fun and satisfaction than a chapter of a game that may or may not be the same. Maybe that's part of it too, is just that in addition to having no kind of real world consequences, which again, that's not what Holocim was designed to do. It was designed to be an onboarding platform. I just don't know if the entertainment value is the same. Like I said, I'm looking for like a 30-minute to an hour type of thing. So again, ultimately, I guess I'm just trying to say it's just not what I'm interested in, but I have no problems that exist within the Star Atlas ecosystem. So the gameplay video of C4 was very interesting. So that was really great to see. Wish it was kind of more publicly shared, not just kind of a thing. Yeah, I put it on your YouTube channel. Excuse me. But anyways, that's interesting. But I think the bigger point is just we haven't got a lot of updates since the latest staffing layoffs on what's the current status of C4, but it sounds like they're still testing it internally. So also in that same vein, we haven't heard anything about Zinc in a long time. Again, staffing issues, I get it. But there was something that was wrong, so they had to recalculate things, and my experience points went down. So I don't know, just kind of check these things first. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be whatever, but it was like, I don't know, just to have it reduced. I guess another group got it increased, so I just had the bad luck of being on the one that was getting too much experience points. But again, I've been playing it for weeks, if not months, and yeah, I don't know, just felt like that should have been caught way sooner. Did see in the Foundation Room that the core novel, that's also now in limbo because of the staffing thing, so don't know if that'll ever come out, the final chapters, unfortunately, or I didn't read it, so not really that much. And then, like I said, kind of not being around checking RAW, just went on Twitter, and yeah, there just wasn't anything. So, I guess at the end, I just wish for more updates to the Atlas. Again, the Holocim updates are great. It's a product exists, but definitely like to hear more across the entire spectrum. They were kind of doing that, it feels like a month ago when we were hearing about some stuff in the UE5 version, which again, maybe just because there isn't anything with the staffing reduction. So, but anyways, kind of wrapping this back up. Kind of just, that's why I'm kind of feeling lackadaisical. It's just hard to get too motivated when you can disappear for 4 or 5 days and come back and absolutely nothing feels like it changed. And check in the weekly updates, and other than one great update on one product, or great updates on one product, nothing else. So we'll see. And again, this could just be a response to the staffing changes. I was kind of thinking like literally who's left. So again, it could be literally, and maybe again, I might feel totally different. The con form was recorded, so there might have been some interesting things there to keep it going. But anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on the state of Star Atlas. As far as my journey playing, still been hoping to get a Mombex, but I need to do some recalculations. I finished mining and transporting all my Luminite, so I moved back to the one that was on my list, but I don't remember how many I'm supposed to get. So hope this weekend to spend just a little bit of time to go back and kind of calculate all that stuff so I can have an actual checklist of the materials to mine, kind of partly thinking to, even if C4 is right around the corner, it's the public release, and Zinc hasn't come out, so feels like that Sage might be around for a fair amount of time more. So kind of feel like I would love to finish that goal of getting the Mombex, just to complete it. Plus, again, all that mining and transport is earning XP, and it got taken away. So yeah, so I'll figure hopefully that out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, not too much. Again, a lot of great Holosym updates, so I don't want to dismiss that. Just again, not of interest to me at this present time. So anyways, yeah, so just to wrap up, love to chat with anybody. If they want to be a guest on the podcast, please go to intergalacticherald.com and fill out the contact form, or you can reach out to me on Discord. Again, I do have my website, intergalacticherald.com. A lot of great resources, though I'll be totally upfront, they're all outdated because nothing's changed since I made them. But you still can get the Discord announcement newsfeed if you want those emailed directly to you. Again, if you're interested in a Star Atlas mug, check out intergalacticgear.com. I see it at Star Atlas merch store. And that's pretty much it for me. So that was the week in review for Star Atlas. My name is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Have a great week ahead.